In 1988, Andy M. Stewart, Phil Cunningham, John Cunningham, Martin Haddon and Gordon Jones revisited their enthusiastic following in Atlanta. The crowd realised that what they were seeing and hearing was the band's finest hour. Silly Wizard in concert.
So my lads, I needs must leave you. My intentions no to grieve you, nor indeed would I deceive you. Oh, I'll say in a while I must find some way to gain her, to court her and retain her. I fear my heart's in danger from the Queen of all Argyle. And if you could have seen her there, boys, if you had just been there, the swan was in her movement and the morning in her smile. All the roses in the garden, they bow and ask her pardon, for not one could match the beauty of the Queen of all Argyle. And if you could have seen her there, boys, if you had just been there, the swan was in her movement and the morning in her smile. All the roses in the garden, they bow and ask her pardon, for not one could match the beauty of the Queen of all Argyle.
We're going to go on with a set of tunes because apart from singing songs, that's the only other thing we do.
Apart from dancing. Yeah. Later on in the night, if things go really well, since it's a kind of visual kind of evening, Phil may do a Scottish erotic dance for you. Yeah, there's only one, and it's called the Dance of the Seven Army Blankets.
We'll see how the evening goes. We'll start off this with a pipe march called Inspector Donald Campbell, and that's a march that's normally played on the pipes about an inspector called Donald Campbell. And then there's a tune called The Orphan. That's about a kid with no parents. Then there's a tune called The Kestrel, which is about a new kind of motorbike which has just come to Scotland. And then a tune called Come Up Alang. And Come Up Alang is Scottish dialect, or Shetland dialect for come on down. You can have the prices right, you know. Come up Alang.
Okay, places everybody.
Good luck, everyone.
Yep.
you. I'd like to sing you a song now that was written by myself and Phil last time we were up in the Isle of Skye together. And it's a song called Lover's Heart. It's about a young man who's just been called up to the army, if you like. He's been called away to fight in a foreign war somewhere. And, well, he's really not enthusiastic about this at all, as you might imagine. And that for several reasons. One is that he's a musician. And he's much more at home sort of fighting enormous hangovers than other members of the public. And secondly, somebody told him that soldiers have got to go around and do stuff during the day. And of course, as I say, being a musician, he has no concept of how to function during daylight hours anyway. And if you add to that the fact that the young lady that he was very, very fond of suddenly ups and tells him that she feels the same way just before he's supposed to leave.
Typical.
Yes. You can see how he feels. It has a bit of a chorus to it. How do you feel about that? Try a chorus? Hey, why not? The chorus goes, last night we spoke of love, now we are forced to part. You leave to the sound of the marching drum and the beat of a lover's heart. Ah, too tough for that, eh? I kind of guessed that might be the case. However, you can always pretend. She was in the flowery garden when first she caught my eye, and I just a marching soldier, she smiled as I passed by. The flowers she held were fresh and fair, her lips were full and red, and as I passed that shady bower, these words to me she said. Last night we spoke of love, now we're forced to part. You leave to the sound of the marching drum and the beat of a lover's heart. She was by the shore in the evening when next I saw my dear, running barefoot by the water's side. She called as I drew near. The sunlight glanced at the water's edge, making fire of her auburn hair. My young heart danced to her parting words that hung in the evening air. Last night we spoke of love, now we're forced to part. You leave to the sound of the marching drum and the beat of a lover's heart. She was on the strand the next morning when orders came to sail, and as we slipped our ropes away, I watched her from the rail. She threw me a rose which fell between us. It floated on the bay, and as our ship pulled from the shore, I heard her call and say, last night we spoke of love, now we're forced to part. You leave to the sound of the marching drum and the beat of a lover's heart. Now the soldier's life won't suit me, sweet music is my trade, for I'd rather melt the hardest heart than pierce it with the blade. Let the time be short till I return to my home in the north of sky, and the loving girl who stole my heart with these words as I passed by. Last night we spoke of love, now we're forced to part. You leave to the sound of the marching drum and the beat of a lover's heart. Last night we spoke of love, now we're forced to part. You leave to the sound of the marching drum and the beat of a lover's heart. Thanks very much indeed. Well, you're not as tough as you thought. I'm going to sing you maybe a different kind of a song. It's not really a love song as such. Maybe it is. I don't know.
Is that a lust song?
That was Johnny Cunningham there. You'll hear a lot more of him before the night is out, no doubt. The song we're going to sing you right now is a song from the north of Ireland, and it tells a story about how a young girl decides one day she's going to go out on a nice, well, one evening in fact, she's going to go out on a nice summer's evening, take a walk down beside the River Bann. And on the first time I heard this song, I thought to myself, now, if this woman has heard any of the other 500 songs that are all called The Banks of the Bann, and she's still going down there, then she's out of her mind, because there's always, some young cad there, sort of cutting around, and there's always a bit of misbehaviour, well, quite a lot of misbehaviour actually, and tears and recriminations and maybe a kid involved somewhere. It's an age-old story, but distressing nonetheless. That's how these songs always tend to go, and I just couldn't help thinking, there's tons of space, you can go anywhere, you don't have to go down there. It's just not worth it. But she goes off down there anyway, and she falls in with this young, silver-tongued young devil, sort of a daring young Celt. This is all based loosely around, the life of Johnny here. And she's walking down the bank of the river, and she falls in with this young cad, and within seconds, he tries to lead her astray. And to be fair to him, he meets with fabulous success. Thank you, fellow cads. He made some great success there, but, you know, their happiness was kind of short-lived, really, because she starts into asking him probing and searching questions into his private life and affairs. Asking him things like his name. Whoa, you know, he backs off, as you would imagine, and nearly panics, you know. But he keeps enough of the head together anyway, just to come up with a bit of a story. He tells her that he's apprenticed as a weaver to the weaving trade, and as an apprentice, he couldn't afford to support a wife, far less a wife and maybe a family. So he tells her that if he can go away, finish his apprenticeship, get his career together. He was a kind of an Irish Celtic, sort of early, sort of yuppie kind of character, this, you know. He said if he could get his career together and he would come back and he would marry her and take great care of her and everything. You'll find that in a lot of songs too. It's called The Great Celtic Lie. Anyway, the whole thing finishes up with a warning to young women. I'm not quite sure specifically what the warning is against, but it seems to be a sort of general warning if you're a good-looking woman in Ireland, just not to go outside. That's as specific as it really gets. So here we go then. It's called Willie Archer on the Banks of the Bann. As I was walking down by yon mill town, oh, the fair and lovely mountains they did me surround. I spied a pretty fair maid, and to me she looked grand. She was plucking wild roses on the banks of the Bann. So I stepped up to this fair one, and to her I did say, since nature has formed us for to meet on this day, since nature has formed us, won't you give me your hand? And we'll walk together on the banks of the Bann. Now it being the summer's evening and a fine quiet place, I knew by the blushes that appeared on her face, we both lay down together onto a bed of sand, and she rolled into my arms on the banks of the Bann. Oh, young man, you have wronged me, won't you tell me your name, so that when my babe is born I can give it the same. My name is Willie Archer, and I'll have you understand that my home and habitation lies close to the Bann. But I cannot marry you, for apprentice I'm bound to the spinning and the weaving in Rathfriland town. Oh, but when my time is over, I'll give you my hand. We will be married on the banks of the Bann. So come all ye pretty fair maids, take a warning by me. Don't go out a-courting at 1, 2, or 3. Don't go out a-courting so late if you can, or you'll meet with Willie Archer on the banks of the Bann. You'll meet with Willie Archer on the banks of the Bann.
Thanks very much. We'll go on with some more tunes.
Oh, great.
The first two are tunes that I wrote myself a couple of years ago. And the first one is called Simon Mackenzie's Welcome to His Twin Sisters from Canada. Have you seen his sisters or what? And then there's a tune called Farewell to the Heb. The Heb is short for Hebrides, and that was the name of the ferry that used to take people from the Isle of Skye over to the Outer Hebrides, Lewis and Harris. And a few years ago, they got rid of the old ferry, which had a lot of character to it, and they replaced it with a plastic one. And everyone was very upset about it. And as it was very topical at the time, I thought, well, I'll write a tune called Farewell to the Heb, and everyone will be so nostalgic that they'll buy a copy of this tune and I'll make a fortune. Because I don't write tunes for the love of it anymore, it's purely for the money. Loads of money.
But you know, that's a special kind of honesty too, isn't it, really? Oh, yeah. It's valid, yeah.
Anyway, it didn't work because they called the new ferry the Heb as well. It's a farewell to nothing.
Farewell to the royalties.
Yeah, farewell to the royalties, the tune should be called. Then there's a traditional pipe reel called the Ale is Dear. I really hope you enjoy these.
I'd just like to say these are my favourite tunes you've ever written, Phil, and I'm really looking forward to hearing you play them live.
I'm going to play them just for you, Johnny.
Thank you.
Just
I'd like to sing you a traditional song now from Scotland, and quite an old song this, quite an unusual one too, because it's a very sad kind of a song really, on the face of it. It's a song called Land of the Leal. The word leal is spelt in Old Scots L-E-A-L, and it means something that's trustworthy or true or good all the way through.
Kind of like Shamu the killer whale.
No. Is that it's in Florida or something? Johnny's been to Florida, and sometimes you get little bits of information from them, but they're totally unconnected with anything else that's happening, so you've got to really try and piece it all together yourself. You know what I mean?
No, it's a whale. It's a gigantic whale with its own theme song. And people swim about with it, and it doesn't tear the face off them or anything. It's a really brilliant thing.
So you'd say this whale was actually a leal?
It was a leal whale. Shamu is a leal whale.
And it has its own...
It has its own show. It's actually in better nick than we are. It has a regular show there until its death.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the career of Shamu, the killer whale. Never mind, Johnny. One day you'll have your own theme song, I'm sure, as well. Your own sort of land, you know, that you can...
A cholesterol world.
You see, Scotland's one of the very few places left that cigarettes and fried breakfasts are still good for you. It's a very hard place to leave, you know what I mean? Anyway, we'll try and get back, but thanks for telling us about Shamu, the killer whale. See, to let you understand a wee bit more about Johnny is, the only way I can really sort of describe him is, do you know when, have you ever been on the phone or something and you've got your feet up on your desk in front of you and you're rocking back and forward in a chair and you're kind of engrossed in what you're saying or something and you don't notice that you've just moved that little bit too far back? And you know that horrifying instant when you don't know if you're going to plunge backwards to your death or if you're going to land back on the desk and be able to continue the conversation okay without the person on the other end thinking that you're a maniac? You know that horrifying instant where your life's just... Ooh. That's how Johnny feels all the time.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll press on with this song and see what happens. The song is actually about it's about a man who knows he's not long for this world, and he's saying his final farewell to his wife Jean. And he's saying that although it's a very sad thing to part in that way at the end of a life, that it's only a temporary parting, that they'll meet again in the land of the leal, which is heaven. So here we go. I'm waiting, watching like starries and fudging. I'm waiting, to the land of the leal. There's nae sorrow there, Jean. There's neither cold nor care, Jean. The days I fair in the land of the leal. Ye I will land true, Jean. Your task is ended now, Jean.
to the land of the Leal. Our bonny bairns there, Jean, she was baith gay and fair, Jean, and oh, we grudged her sair to the land of the Leal. So dry that tearfully, Jean, my soul longs to be free, Jean, and angels wait on me in the land of the Leal. So fare thee well, my ain, Jean, this world's care is vain, Jean, we'll meet and I be fain in the land of the Leal. And where and watching like snorries and fudging, we're and take the land of the Leal. There's nae sorrow there, Jean, there's neither cold nor care, Jean, the day is aye fair in the land of the Leal.
I'd like to sing you a song from Perthshire in the Central Highlands of Scotland, and that's where myself and Martin comes from. And coincidentally, it's also the nicest part of Scotland as well. That's a pure coincidence, of course. But this is a song about a wee place called Dunkeld, and a few folk in from Dunkeld tonight. Just a couple of bus rides down to Atlanta, Georgia. You're all right. Well, the thing is that the song itself is in a lot of it's in Old Scots, and so I'll kind of explain a little bit of the story for you so that you get the gist of what's happening if you don't know the song already. It's about what happened when, well, it's a couple of hundred years ago, but it's about what happened when the town got a new minister. Now, the old one was, fine. He ranted and raved on the Sunday and pretty well turned a blind eye the rest of the week, so you could get on with stuff. But this new fella that got in, he was really fired up with zeal, and he was, he had all kinds of commitment he was going to make. And on the first Sunday, he told them that things were to change in the town, and that from that day on there was to be no more making or consuming of alcoholic drinks, no more organising ceilidhs or parties or dances or any kind of thing at all like that. The room's deflating. What's happening? Well, his audience reacted very much the same way, only perhaps a wee bit more vocally, but they weren't very pleased. But out of respect for the minister, they decided they would give it a shot anyway. And they tried this no drinking, no enjoying themselves thing. And I mean, that town had been through fire and flood and pestilence and war, and history records, though, that period of time that they spent under that minister was the longest 24 hours they'd ever experienced. So they formed a bit of a committee to go up and represent the town and have a chat with them, just to discuss things, you know, just very... Hey! It's Miller time. I love this job. Like,
Some folk will do anything to get into a video.
just onto the TV, eh? That's terrible, eh? So where was it anyway? They'd formed a bit of a committee to go and have a chat with them. Go up and represent their views in a quiet... After this life, Johnny's hoping to come back as a human being. Shamu. Anyway, they went up and had a word with the minister, and they said to him, can we have a bit of a ceilidh on Saturday night? We just want to have a few dances, a few drams, and we'll be in church Sunday morning. And the minister, Sunday morning. I have no idea what's wrong with that woman. Anyway, the minister, he said no.
Can we possibly get a camera over here?
The minister, he said no.
Cheer up, for God's sake.
So, they took him out, and they hung him. And that's his wife up there.
We go now.
We'll try now, yes.
Oh, what a parish, a terrible parish. Oh, what a parish is that of Dunkeld. They hanged their minister, drowned their presenter, done doon the steeple and fuddled the bell. The steeple was doon, but the kirk was still standing. They begged a lum where the bell used to hang. A still pot they got, and they brewed Highland whiskey. On Sundays they drank it and ranted and sang. Had you but seen how graceful they looked, to see the crammed pews so socially join. MacDonald the piper stood up in the pulpit. He made the pipe skirl out the music divine. Wi' whiskey and beer they would curse and they'd swear, then argue and fight like you darna will tell. About Geordie and Charlie they bothered for early. Wi' whiskey they're worse than the devil himself. When the hard-cheering spirits had mounted their garrets tae a ball on the green, they a' did adjourn. The maids wi' coats kilted, they skipped and lilted. When tired they shook hands and then hame they'd return. If the kirk saw her Scotland held like social meetings, nae warning you'd need from a far tinkling bell. For true love and friendship would draw you together far better than roaring the horrors of hell. Oh, what a parish, a terrible parish. Oh, what a parish is that of Dunkeld. They hanged their minister, shot their accordionist.
down the steeple and fuddled the bell. Yes. The steeple was down, but the kirk was still standing. They bigot a lum where the bell used to hang. A still pot they got, and they brewed ale and whiskey. On Sunday they drank it and ranted and sang. That song always reminds me on something that I saw written on a toilet wall in a bar in Edinburgh. I don't usually go into these places, but you know, I was shopping or something and for my granny, and I just had to go in there quickly, and you know, it was a pub at the edge of where, you know, just away from where most of the tourists might actually go, you know, just at the edge of where you might stray, and it just said, I just noticed up on the wall in really shaky handwriting, it had written, "Scotland is not for the squeamish." Who knows what drove that poor individual to write that? Anyway, we've adopted it as our slogan for this tour, anyway. Do you fancy singing a chorus with us here? Good, that's grand. This is a song that I wrote a wee while back for my wife, and it's got a very easy chorus. Chorus goes, golden, golden is her hair, like the morning sun over fields of corn. Golden, golden flows her love, so sweet and clear and warm. It's a love song. But I'm really tough as well, honestly. Slowly, slowly walk the path, and you might never stumble or fall. Slowly, slowly walk the path, and you might never fall in love at all. Golden, golden is her hair, like the morning sun over fields of corn. Golden, golden flows her love, so sweet and clear and warm.
that ne'er another can call its own. And lonely, lonely lies the part that has to live all alone. Golden as our hair, like the morning sun over fields of corn. Golden, golden flows her love, so sweet and clear and warm. Wildly, wildly beats the heart with a rush of love, like a mountain stream. And wildly, wildly play your part, as free as a wild bird's dream. Golden, golden as our hair, like the morning sun over fields of corn. Golden, golden flows her love, so sweet and clear and warm. Slowly, slowly walk the path, and you might never tumble or fall. Slowly, slowly walk the path, and you might never fall in love at all. Golden, golden as her hair, like the morning sun over fields of corn. Golden, golden flows her love, so sweet and clear and warm. Last time, everybody. Golden, golden as our hair, like the morning sun over fields of corn. Golden, golden flows her love, so sweet and clear and warm.
Thanks a million for singing with us there. That's grand. Well, we're going to do a kind of a song now for you that's a wee bit different. It's a song for folk who like to party and have a good time. No, I don't mean like that. I mean folk who basically need to party sort of professionally? No? Okay, folk who party then with no regard to their own personal safety or well-being. Okay.
It's one of my favourites of yours, Andy.
Thanks, Johnny. Oh, there's sober men in plenty, and drunkards barely 20. There are men of over 90 that have never yet kissed a girl. But give me a rambling rover, hey Orkney down to Dover. We will roam the country over, and together we'll face the world. There's many that feign enjoyment from merciless employment. Their ambition was this deployment from the minute they left the school. And they save and scrape and ponder, while the rest go out and squander. See the world and rove and wander, and they're happier as a rule. Ah, there's sober men in plenty, and drunkards barely 20. There are men of over 90 that have never yet kissed a girl. But give me a rambling rover, hey Orkney down to Dover. We will roam the country over, and together we'll face the world. I've roamed through all the nations, to delight in all creation, and I've tried away sensation where the company did prove kind. And when parting was no pleasure, I've drunk another measure to the good friends we treasure, for they always are in our mind. Oh, there's sober men in plenty, and drunkards barely 20. There are men of over 90 that have never yet kissed a girl. But give me a rambling rover, hey Orkney down to Dover. We will roam the country over, and together we'll face the world. If you're bent with arthritis, your bowels have got colitis, you've galloping bronchitis, and you're thinking it's time you died. If you've been a man of action, though you're lying there in traction, you may gain some satisfaction thinking, Jesus, at least I tried. Ah, there's sober men in plenty, and drunkards barely 20. There are men of over 90 that have never yet kissed a girl. But give me a rambling rover, hey Orkney down to Dover. We will roam the country over, and together we'll face the world. There's sober men in plenty, and drunkards barely 20. There are men of over 90 that have never yet kissed a girl. But give me a rambling rover, hey Orkney down to Dover. We will roam the country over, and together we'll face the world. That's the kind of song that Scottish people sing when they're having a really great time. If you've ever seen Scotland at Hogmanay, you know, at New Year, it's not a good Hogmanay unless everybody's got the hankies out and they're just roaring, oh, you know. It just wouldn't work unless, really. But right now we're going to have a duet from, well, at least two of the band, as far as I can see. We're going to have a duet from John and Phil Cunningham. God made the Cunninghams on the same day that he made the platypus. Totally unique. Good lads.
God made Andy on the same day he made Bob Eubanks.
Well, we're going to do a few Irish tunes and a few Scottish tunes. The first tune's called Paddy Faye's Number One. The second tune's called The 9 Points of Roguery. The third tune's a tune that it's an Irish traditional tune, but the Beatles actually stole it and used it to write Listen, Do You Want to Know a Secret? So when we play that, you'll actually know it's quite obvious that they just lifted the tune straight up and made a fortune out of it. And then a tune called, it's a half Irish, half Scottish and half Jewish tune called the Kosher Reel. Then a tune called The Laird of Drumblair, then The Laird of Drumblair in A. Now that'll sound really fast, but it won't really be fast. That's just because A is the fastest of all keys. And then a tune in F called Jean's Reel, which will in fact be faster but won't sound as fast. And then a tune called The Musical Priest. Let me check this out here. Brilliant. Say that another 50 times, you'll get a contract with Wyndham Hill.
Do you want to know a secret? Let me whisper in your
Thank you. Thanks very much. Thanks very much.
That's nothing. When they play really fast, only dogs can hear them. Donald come up the hill hard and hungry. Donald's come down the hill wild and angry. Donald will clear the Gowk's Nest cleverly. He's taking James into Donald McGillivray. Come like a way buck, Donald McGillivray. Come like a way buck, Donald McGillivray. Balance them fair and balance them cleverly. Off with the counterfeit Donald McGillivray. Donald come out the hill, but he's the other man. As he war boy, or stung way another man. When he comes back, the sun will look merrily. Sticking James unto Donald McGillivray. Come like a weaver, Donald McGillivray. Come like a weaver, Donald McGillivray. Push your foot in and tremble them cleverly. Halfway King James and with Donald McGillivray. Donald was walking way right from roguery. Donald had done his way, bangs and baggery. But hard and wild, wags and waggery. Meeting the devil than Donald McGillivray. Come like a tailor, Donald McGillivray. Come like a tailor, Donald McGillivray. Push your foot in and tremble them cleverly. Up King James and with Donald McGillivray. The gallant that brooks nae tangled this wiggin and priggin and on ye fangled this nae man be game. He when he be pocketman, he will hae just the sort that he'll pocketman. Come like a cobbler, Donald McGillivray. Come like a cobbler, Donald McGillivray. Beat them and bar them and lingle them cleverly. Up way King James with Donald McGillivray. Donald was mopping way birds and mockery. Donald was blended way bloods of property. Arrows run high when Mackins with Nathan and Lord Howard. Donald he's fighting the fratting man. Come like the devil, Donald McGillivray. Come like the devil, Donald McGillivray. Scout them and scout them, if they say unbrotherly. Up with King James and with Donald McGillivray.
Good night, thank you.
Thanks, William. Thank you. There's nowhere to go back there. Thanks a million anyway. You've been a marvellous, marvellous audience. Thanks a lot. And it's very important to support music, you know, live music, because I always think without music, dancing looks really stupid. A homespun philosophy, I know, but it's my own, you know. We're going to sing you a bit of a ballad now, just to finish off, quieten things down a bit. And it's a song about a young man who decides to go off and seek his fortune so that he'd have enough money to come home and marry his young lady that he's very keen on. Because you'll find that the heroes in almost all Celtic songs are broke, totally. So they've got to go and seek their fortune, because that's the way you did it in the olden days. You know, it was a simple system. That was just how you did it. Well, off he went, and he was away for a long time, but he left his lady far too long. And when he came back, she had made her mind up that she was going to go and have a look at a bit of the world. So he just gets back in time to see her get on a ship and sail away and leave him. He was very sad. The song's called If I Was a Blackbird.
Gary, could you put a spot of reverb on the whistle, please? This mic.
That's an old Scottish blessing. I don't know what it means myself. Thanks a million anyway. And there's a chorus to this, and it'd be lovely if you sang along, and then we'd all be singing at the end of the night. Thanks very much indeed. I am a young sailor, my story is sad. Though once I was carefree and a brave sailor lad, I courted a lassie by night and by day. Oh, but now she has left me and sailed far away. Oh, if I was a blackbird, could whistle and sing, I'd follow the vessel my true love sails in, and in that harbor again I would there build my nest, and I'd flutter my wings o'er her lily white breast. Or if I was a scholar and could handle the pen, one secret love letter to my true love I'd send, and tell of my sorrow, my grief and my pain, since she's gone and left me in yon fleury glen. Oh, if I was a blackbird, could whistle and sing, I'd follow the vessel my true love sails in, and in the harbor again I would there build my nest, and I'd flutter my wings o'er her lily white breast. I sailed o'er the ocean by fortune to seek, though I missed her caress and her kiss on my cheek. I returned and I told her my love was still warm, but she turned away lightly, and great was her scorn. Oh, if I was a blackbird, could whistle and sing,
I'd follow the vessel my true love sails in, and in the top rigging I would there build my nest, and I'd flutter my wings o'er her lily white breast. I offered to take her to Donnybrook Fair, and to buy her fine ribbons to tie up her hair. I offered to marry and to stay by her side, but she says in the morning she sails with the tide. Oh, if I was a blackbird who'd whistle and sing, I'd follow the vessel my true love sails in, and in the top rigging I would there build my nest, and I'd flutter my wings o'er her lily white breast. My parents, they chide me, they will not agree, saying that me and my false love marriage should never be. Oh, but let them deprive me, or let them do what they will, while there's breath in my body, she's the one that I love still. Oh, if I was a blackbird, could whistle and sing, I'd follow the vessel my true love sails in, and in the top rigging I would there build my nest, and I'd flutter my wings o'er her lily white breast.
Good night. Thanks a million. Thank you. Do you not get many groups in this town then? Thanks a million, folks. This is great. And
we are bad.
Well said, Bubbles. Well, we're just going to have to do the first one again, I think. That's all we know, isn't it? Thanks a million. I don't know when we'll all see you again, but thank y'all.
Y'all. Thank y'all. God bless and see you again. Cheers.